Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Sicily Rises campaign. Once again, we find ourselves embroiled in war. We are the nation, nay, the empire of Italy, and we are fighting a war against our once friends but now longtime rivals, France. Now, this war is not one that we started. We joined in trying to defend a small African country, and we specifically would like a little bit of French territory, specifically a little tiny island out in the Indian Ocean. I believe that is Runyon Island in real life. It's called French Indian Ocean territories here in the game. I also, just like a little fun fact, I'm pretty sure the longest direct flight in the same country in the world is actually from Paris to Runyon Island down here. Just a little fun tidbit. Anyway, I could be wrong, but I do think that the longest direct flight that is in the same country in the world is from Paris to Runyon Island. There are communist revolutions brewing in Central America. Our emperor is leading a battle in Provence. And he's trying to regain some of his lost prestige and his lost glory from his disastrous war in northern Africa, where the only bright spot was that our navy, while absolutely being overrun by just superior numbers from the British, actually I think fared quite well. I think we do have a strong naval tradition, and we do have some good naval admirals. Another bright spot of the war is that when the British army was trying to naval invade in Lazio, they were trying to end the war right away by taking... Oh, Mexico is going to try to end a revolt in the Ionian Islands. Interesting. But when Great Britain tried to deliver a knockout blow that would absolutely cripple us and the Italian war effort, our emperor took personal command of the armies of Italy and led the defense of Rome himself. We now have propertied women. That is huge because it's going to get rid of a revolution that is brewing. Anyway, our emperor, he was able to lead the defense of Rome himself, which was incredibly important for that war. And honestly, it was one of the most lopsided battles that I've seen in quite some time in Victoria, where we lost about 2,500 men, and the British had over 40, had over 40,000 dead and 70,000 wounded. We suffered 2,000 dead and about 5,000 wounded. French Senegal is in default, so that is good. We, you can see, are starting to really push into Provence. In fact, we have taken some land. Oh, and wonderful! Oil has been discovered in Gabon, so that little tiny region in Africa that Russia traded us might actually be worth something as oil has been discovered there. So let us go ahead and... We cannot yet, we don't have pump jacks, although pump jacks is being naturally spread to us, so soon we will be able to build some oil rigs. Lovely. I also one of the reasons why I'm fighting this war is to try to take Runyon Island so that I have a base of operations in the Indian Ocean and perhaps can start expanding into the Horn of Africa as well as maybe Madagascar and maybe the Middle East, also the Far East. We will have to see, though. And it is all dependent on us winning this war, but the war is progressing nicely. We have lost a lot of men, and I mean a lot of men. I asked the question, is Runyon Island worth 200,000 Italian dead? And that is about where we are right now. I said that it probably wasn't worth 200,000 Italian dead, but we were going to fight it out because of our emperor's misguided ambition. With that said, though, we have now hit 200,000 dead, and we are not necessarily very close to seeing Runyon Island become ours. We also, of course, are just looking to weaken France, and so we'll take any chance we can get to put one over on our rivals. Also, a victory for us would mean that our allies, Germany, will gain Alsace-Lorraine, which would be very helpful. Alsace-Lorraine is a major industrial centerpiece of the French Empire, or the French Republic, excuse me, which would hopefully cripple France a little bit more. If you are new to the series and have not watched every episode, which I absolutely would not blame you for, there are quite a few of them. Early on in the campaign, the French were our friends. Yay, they were actually our allies. We thought that we were going to be able to use the French in a diplomatic play against the Austrians to conquer northern Italy, specifically Milan and cities like Milan and Venice. However, when we declared our diplomatic play against Austria, even though France was they were our defensive ally and they owed us an obligation, they decided to not only declare that they were neutral in the conflict and not be called in by our obligation, but then they embargoed us. And then the next time, and we actually lost that war in large part because we did not have France there to help us. So instead, we had to focus on solidifying ties with the German Empire. The German Empire did eventually help us defeat Austria. Notice we do have Venice, we do have Milan. But France actually fought against us in a play for us to try to weaken Ottoman hold to weaken the Ottoman hold of the Balkans. Now, I still want to weaken Ottoman hold even farther in the Balkans. However, we will have to try to win this war first. Our debt is concerning, but it's not that bad. I think it is largely because we have called in our conscripts. We are also fighting a war, and war is expensive. We are fighting, and while I would say we are winning a war, I also must say that we are taking horrendous casualties. I am doing very cautious advances. I did research trench infantry in the last episode, so we do have trench infantry. That should help make sure that we cannot be beaten by the French army. However, I don't necessarily know if that will mean that we can defeat the French army, because the French army is still using skirmish infantry. And as you can see, we are officially on trench, as well as shrapnel artillery. French Senegal is having some significant money issues. What? And it looks like the French Republic, all right, they signed a peace treaty with Gaza. I don't think we've pressed any claims, and indeed, it was a white peace. So that war is over. We just lost how many hundreds of thousands of pops, hurt our GDP for literally nothing. Although I guess you could say that we did it to really spite France's ambitions. And in that way, it was a huge success. We are trying to absolutely rebuild our navy after a disastrous war with Great Britain. So I'm going to continue working on building the navy. I'm also probably going to need to build some government administration in this episode, as we do have pretty significant tax waste. So let's also look into doing that. I've kind of been neglecting building government administration for much of the series. And yeah, I'm just going to lay down some government administration buildings. It just kind of is what it is. And hopefully those will be built relatively quickly, and then we won't have to worry about that again. Oh, and he has unfortunately passed away. We no longer have Francesco di Bourbon. He is dead. Long live the new emperor. Let's go ahead and meet him. He is Emperor Giovanni Bourbon of Sicily. He is a devout Catholic. He is an experienced political operator, and he is pious. So I now think a lot of these laws, he's pious. Let's go ahead and say, all right, he is a pious man. The landowners have been kicked out of government. Let's go ahead. He is interested in bringing the Catholic Church into government. So let's go ahead and do that. That is actually going to give us some legitimacy. Let's take a look at the laws. I think he would be probably interested in going back to charity hospitals. Now, of course, the meta play is to go into private insurance, but we're not necessarily playing in the meta way. I think he would also be interested in trying to enact state religion again. He is a pious Catholic. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. Will that lead to a revolution? Probably. Maybe. We'll have to see. In fact, yes, it is going to lead to a revolution, but that's just what we are going to deal with. Let's see what the revolution would look like. It would be most of the country. Most of the country. He's not necessarily the smartest leader, but he is pious. He would like a strong Catholic state. We do get pump jacks, so that is going to allow us to be able to build some oil rigs. Oil has actually been discovered in Lombardy. Let's go ahead and build some oil there. I'll go ahead and build 5 oil rigs there. That's excellent news. Let's take a look at, I feel like it's been a while since we looked at the market to see what we have, what we don't have. We don't have enough coal. So, and in fact, are we actually starting to run out of places to build coal mines? We absolutely are. So let's go ahead and build 10 more coal mines in Sardinia. But after that, we are just going to have to trade for coal. And we can't. Ooh, I wonder if we are trading away a lot of coal. Yes, so we are trading a lot of coal to various markets. So we could potentially, we might actually be fine on coal. But we're going to build more. And we'll take a look at some of our production methods. Power plants, let's go ahead and go to publicly traded. Just looking at our production methods, let's go ahead and, of course, do open hearth process. That will make steel a little bit cheaper. The German Empire has sided with the Netherlands in a diplomatic play. Heavy-handedness. Giovanni mistook an enemy in the armed forces after accusing them with false charges. Moderates in the armed forces defected to the trade unionist cause. They're bedfellows. I'm not going to stand down. I am a proud Catholic ruler. I don't even know what the effects of that were, but this is not a man who stands down. He's only 23. I wonder, do we have any actions? Can we seek a royal marriage? Yes, we can. And we can marry him to a member of the Congolese house, Kinlaza. You know what? Sure, let's do it. Alright, photographs of Italy. It has been suggested that we take and distribute some pictures of our country's most famous landmarks. Why, of course, we should distribute them internationally or domestically. Let's go ahead and do internationally. And we do have a royal wedding. The nation celebrates the marital union of the most gracious Majesty Emperor Giovanni and his charming daughter and the charming daughter of Liombe of Congo. Invite only those of the highest social standing or a grand public wedding. Let's do a grand public wedding. While debates continue over state religion law, a polemic by Coronando, there you are again, Bud, has publicized a simple and catastrophic flaw to the proceedings. A redraft is underway. He's going to gain some more popularity. He is a very popular man. A group of revolutionaries have carried out a robbery of an Italian bank in Lombardy. Order increased security. We will clamp down on any dissent. Let's go ahead and take a look at our diplomacy. I think we probably are going to want to improve some relations. Let's go ahead and improve relations with the Netherlands, Denmark, why not? Can we improve relations with, let's do Brazil. They're kind of a major power at this point. I'll also do China and Persia, why not? Now we are going to have a revolution to enact landed voting. I think they are probably just mad that we are trying to pass any law that isn't landed voting, and we are trying to actually go, I think a lot of the intelligentsia would say that we are going backwards in trying to enact a full-on state religion. Let's see, the waffling revolutionary. Admiral Longobardi, an associate of the revolutionary intelligentsia, is known to have some doubts about his convictions. It may be possible to use his hesitancy to the government's advantage. Oh, and we've gotten a new achievement, poor huddled masses. All right, I'm going to say press the admiral to support the government, or he can't be trusted. Let's go ahead and say that he should support the government. Letters to the condemned. Following the arrest of a prominent opponent to state religion, Corradino Veranzia has begun a public letter-writing campaign to demonstrate support for them. The letters must flow freely or ensure that none of this drivel reaches those in prison. I'm going to say that one. So the question is, are we going to have a revolution? Will the people once again bow under the yoke of the Catholic Church, under our pious leader? Let's also check out just where we are in terms of great power status. We actually did surpass Russia for a little while. We are number 5. I would love to take some land off of the French. What's my infamy look like? Pretty low. I would love to fight a war against France, and perhaps, like, I would love to take, the Rhone. That would be just insane. That would be France's industrial heartland just in Italy. Now, I don't think that would be actually a feasible war, but perhaps helping Germany take Alsace-Lorraine might be a good use of our Italian bodies. Ordered to violently suppress a popular riot in Ancona, a battle of the Umbrian garrison have refused their orders. A battalion of the Umbrian garrison have refused their orders, claiming that the execution of such a command would run contrary to the laws of men and God alike. Insubordination, string up the ringleaders and jail the rest. Or I can hush this down, we shall rotate the garrison eventually. No, we are a political operator, so I don't know. Maybe he should have a little bit more of a daft hand in some of these. I am just trying to push through this law, this state religion, and honestly risking revolution in the process. But he is pretty popular, so who knows? Maybe he would actually win an election if he was elected, or if we do end up in landed voting. Again, let's take a look. Every province except for Lazio would join the German Empire. Are you still a Kaiserreich? Yes, you are. Let's see what kind of exiles we got going on here. We of course have Corradino. He has been around for quite a while. Vultures on a carcass. Opportunist members of the industrialists have defected to the intelligentsia cause. So be it. Any exiled agitators want to come? We could bring in some people to preserve total separation. I mean, I could bring in people, if I really did want this revolution to fire, I could bring in people to support the movement for landed voting. Yeah, that seems to be my option. I'm just gonna let it happen organically. We're gonna. Thunder has struck the legislatures as an article published by Corando accusing a member of the rural folks of sleeping with a mistress comes to light conveniently in the middle of debates for the state religion law. Our government must be held to the highest of standards. It's going to hurt our chances to pass it. It's practically going to mean that we're in a revolution, but we are a pious Catholic. We can't allow the members of our government to just sin in such a way. Under no pretext. I mean, this could be it. After raiding army barracks in Piedmont, the trade unions under Salvatore Fardella have begun turning their weapons against the government of Italy. All right, what should we do? Should we concentrate on defending the cities? So that's going to increase the Civil War chance, but we get some traits on Fabio. Should we chase them into the hills? That's going to help the revolution, or help our Civil War progress. But a trade union agitator will appear in Italy, or should, and 2% of all servicemen pops in Piedmont lose their lives, or should we they must be better armed. We're going to chase them into the hills. That's, I think, what they would do. All right, who is this guy? He's going to join the movement to enact total separation. He's a vanguardist. Interesting. In the process of his education at Piedmont University, Amindo's son has begun espousing sentiments that echo Coronando's supporters. Knock some sense into that insolent brat. Alright, it looks like Clary has already decided to go ahead and leave. More power to him. The procession of provocations. Dissidents in Lombardy have announced plans for a major march around government offices in the near future. While they profess peaceful intentions and claim everyone will be unarmed. Oh, we have destroyers. We'll build some destroyers. While they profess... should we stop the march? Yeah, stop the march by any means necessary. And we are now at 94% Civil War progress. Let's go ahead and before this happens, let's take a look. Can we upgrade we can upgrade a frigate to a torpedo boat, but we can't upgrade ironclads. Okay, did I not just unlock destroyers? Let's check out our technology. Destroyers. Unlocks destroyers. Okay, let's maybe let a week tick by. Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, let's go ahead and change over to destroyers. Now, can I upgrade my torpedo boats? I sure can. Can I upgrade my frigate to a destroyer? I sure can. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and just build some more. We'll build 2 more. Actually, we'll build a bunch more. And I will do that in all of my navies. And honestly, I will probably... now need to look at what kind of technology I want. I think I'm going to go society now, and potentially investment banks, or we're about to research anarchism. Let's do identification documents, actually. That's going to just give us an absolute wealth of bureaucracy, especially after I've built so much more. Let's go ahead and get some prestige. I should probably cancel those government administration buildings. I don't know, they're not going to hurt. Antiquated words. Several year-old journal articles and statements by present government officials alike opposing state religion have been dredged up by newspapers sympathetic to Enrico Maltese's cause. These revelations have led to accusations of opportunism from both opponents and supporters of the law. What indolent lack of principles, or we can say people can change their views over time. I'm going to say what indolent lack of principles. He's a proud Catholic. Here we go. Revolutionaries raid arms depot. A band of revolutionaries, rumors to affiliate with the intelligentsia, have overwhelmed a minor garrison in Venetia, leaving 24 soldiers dead and running off with crates full of rifles and ammunition, even wheeling off a smaller caliber cannon or artillery piece. Should we scour the countryside for them or scour the cities instead? I think they are in the cities. That will scour the countryside, and we are going to actually go into a full revolution here, I believe. And there it is. Revolutionary Italian diplomacy play against us. The grand, the great, the Emperor Giovanni de Bourbon of Sicily. Revolution is upon us. What shall we do? How shall we overcome? Let us go ahead and we will do our best, although even raising all of our armies and our conscripts, I don't think we are going to be long for this world. Let us try our best to defend Rome. However, I just don't know if it's going to work out for us. We have a shortage of everything. We are running such a negative balance. Godfried, after spending just a couple weeks in Italy, is now going to go to British Congo. I'm going to have to increase my taxes. It's not going to do anything. We are officially in trouble. This revolution looks to be unstoppable. We could look for allies. We, in fact, maybe should look for allies. Germany would join us. But they want Tunis in exchange. I'm going to go ahead and decline that. I'm just going to... We'll see what happens. If we lose, we lose. We're going to lose. As a part of the transition to state religion, the Catholic Church have introduced and enforced a series of harsh anti-blasphemy laws in Sardinia. We must uphold the law. Of course. We are also just going to absolutely get steamrolled here, aren't we? Interesting. Oh, we've achieved another achievement. Stonks. Alright, cool, I guess. Not really sure what that is. I'll have to look at it later, though, because we are now officially at war with communist Italy. I didn't realize that they would be communist. I thought they just wanted landed voting. Well, let's see what happens. I mean, should we just go ahead and capitulate? We're going to lose. State religion's positive outcome is increasing. We are trying to reclaim Central Italia. However, that doesn't seem to be working. We have turmoil. Our pops are radical. They want us gone. we at least have the great, the grand, the glorious Sicily on our side. With Sicily on our side, can we falter? Yeah, we can. And I think we're going to. I gotta say, Giovanni, things are not looking good. Things are not looking good at all. We are still trying to push forward. However, our barracks are emptying. We do have trench infantry. We now have floating harbors unlocked. We don't have coal. We don't have anything. Is this going to be our first, a major defeat? Our 2nd Italian fleet has been demoralized and defeated. They are having to go back to Italy, the Italy HQ. Where is our emperor? In fact, I think it is time for him to go ahead and be a commander. He's going to be in the 4th Italian Army, which is just nothing right now. So we are going to transfer him to the largest army we have in an attempt to hold. Yes. Alright, we're going to put him on defensive. He is going to try to do what his father did and defend Lazio, defend Rome. This time, not against the British, but against the communists. Once again, we are fighting a bloody civil war, this time to preserve our empire. However, I do think that all is lost. We are in an unfortunate position where we might be completely annexed by communist Italy. We may become communist in itself. In fact, I wonder if we did become communist, would we have friends in Austria? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Either way, things are not looking good if you are Emperor Giovanni, I must say. With that said, though, as the very walls of Rome itself, where you can hear artillery pounding. Right now, the artillery is still miles away from the Eternal City, but will the armies of the Empire of Rome be able to hold off? Or will they falter? Will our allies in Tunis be able to come and save us? I don't know. We will have to find out, though, on the next episode. I've been the Bold. You have been you. I hope you've enjoyed watching. We will have to see how this communist revolution goes. And I will see you on the next one.